Welcome to Unpacking the Backpack, the podcast where we explore the intricacies of teaching, learning, and leadership with me, your host, diving deeply into educational insights. Today, we're charting a student's journey, unraveling the threads of creating effective, personalized learning paths. Let's embark on this enlightening exploration together, shall we? Every student's learning journey is as unique as a fingerprint. This diversity stems from the distinctiveness of human cognition, aspirations, and experiences. It's fascinating how no two minds are alike, thanks to our unique cognitive and emotional makeup. Some of us are visual learners, others auditory, and some excel through a hands-on approach. This diversity necessitates the creation of personalized learning paths that respect and adapt to these individual differences. Now, imagine a classroom that recognizes and nurtures this uniqueness. The heart of personalized learning lies in creating a journey that speaks to each student's strengths, weaknesses, and importantly, their interests and passions. Visualize a student who is captivated by the mysteries of the cosmos, while another finds solace in the rhythm of poetry. Their paths should reflect these passions. It's not just about learning at one's pace, but also about following a trail lit by one's own interests and aspirations. The genius of this approach lies in its respect for diversity in learning needs and preferences. Lev Vygotsky, a name you might be familiar with, emphasized the significance of scaffolding in education, guiding learners based on their individual needs. Personalized learning paths are the embodiment of this principle, offering resources and activities tailored to various learning styles, from visual to kinesthetic. Moreover, personalized learning paths hand the reins of the learning journey over to the students, enabling them to set their own pace. Research supports this autonomy, indicating enhanced academic outcomes. It's empowering for students to navigate their educational expeditions, exploring at a pace that suits their capabilities. But here's something even more remarkable. Personalized paths allow educators to adapt content to meet individual needs. Studies have confirmed that this adaptability can lead to significant learning gains. With constant assessment and feedback, personalized paths ensure no learner is left behind, fostering an environment ripe for mastery and understanding. So how do we implement these personalized pathways in real-world teaching? Through adaptive technologies, self-paced learning, and flexible structures like school-within-a-school models, we create an ecosystem that recognizes and nurtures the autonomy, choice, and self-direction of every learner. To wrap up, the journey of personalized learning is not just about academic success. It's about equipping individuals with the skills and mindset for lifelong, self-directed learning. Every student's path is a rich tapestry woven from their unique experiences, interests, and aspirations. As educators, it's our privilege and responsibility to ensure these diverse paths not only intersect with effective learning outcomes, but also lead to the holistic development of each learner. Thank you for joining me today on Unpacking the Backpack. Let's continue to explore, understand, and celebrate the diverse and rich journeys of learners everywhere. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll dive even deeper into the transformative power of education.
Hey there, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this week's podcast. And again, I'm using Leap AI, which takes previous blog posts that I've written and converts it into a podcast. Great to save me time, but also to kind of add some insights afterwards as I reflect back on not only what I wrote about, but what I'm seeing in the field. In this week's episode, we really dove into path. We think about high agency practices, voice, choice, path, pace, place. The whole idea is to figure out, what are the most effective ways to unleash the potential of our learners. And as my co-author Nikki Slaw and I shared in our book Personalize, personalization is all students getting what they need when and where they need it to learn. It's important to understand that learning is not linear. None of us went from point A to point B. Learning happens when there is failure, when we fail forward, when we learn from failure, from feedback, from learning to learn how to unlearn and relearn. But we can honestly say if we put every student, or adult for that matter, on the same path because of learning preferences and how we learn, it's just not going to be successful. And there are many ways to really focus on path. At Quest Academy Junior High School, my co-author's school, Nikki Slaw, they really focus on, small group instruction, target instruction happening while students are not only working at their own pace, but following a path that is specific to them. They have students that are literally in seventh grade math, figuratively speaking, but they've already progressed to ninth grade. That happens when you combine working at your own pace, but putting students on a path that aligns with where their ability level is. And that's where often some of our students that are already at standard or beyond standard struggle because they're not challenged. They've already gotten it. So when they go through the work, if it's low level tasks, if they're on that same rudimentary path, they become bored or they are not pushed to excel further. And when we think about path's also a great opportunity to build in not only challenging tasks, but those that are relevant and meaningful to students. One of my favorite strategies for path is must do, may do. Here's the tasks that you must do as a learner. But then when you really dive into the may do tasks, that's where students can chart their own course, where they can take on the appropriate amount of challenge, but really focus on their interests. So I want you to think from this episode, how do you learn best? And if you are a teacher or administrator, what are some practical ways that you could integrate different paths into your school or your classroom? I mentioned must do, may do, but you could also leverage adaptive tools. Now, let me tell you, adaptive tools are not the end all be all, but they are a great way to leverage the real-time data, but allow students to progress on their own path if they're already getting it. So that's it for this week on Unpacking the Backpack. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and please share your thoughts on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Would love to hear what you think. Keep making a difference, everybody. Till next time, this is Eric Scheninger.